Hennepin County's budget for this year is a big one, $2.68 billion. So how does that break down to local projects? Reporter Shannon Sladden spoke about that with Hennepin County District 7 Commissioner Kevin Anderson in today's Newsmakers.
I think first off, it's really big, right? We have a lot of things that Hennepin County does for our residents. And it's complicated. We have funding sources from the state and federal level. And while we've seen some increased funding through infrastructure projects and housing projects, funding sources from the state and federal government, that takes people to implement those things. And that's a big part of where Hennepin County's budget has gone into, is making sure that we are putting staff in places that are going to allow us to get these things done for our residents.
You've seen the greatest increase in staff in which department?
One of the biggest increases is in our Public Works department. I chair the Public Works Committee, and so our infrastructure projects are really important to me and to our residents in Western Hennepin. And we're seeing, I think, about $50 million in projects coming through just in Western Hennepin alone in this next year, which is a huge increase from what it has historically been. And that's in large part because we've gotten this additional money for infrastructure projects from the state and federal government.
All right, anything in particular you'd like to highlight with those?
Well, one very exciting project that's coming through is in Rogers. We're having the Fletcher bypass is now on the table, something that has been in the works for, I think, almost 30 years. And so we're really excited to see that come through. But a lot of other things are coming through because of our Complete and Green Streets policy. More availability to do pedestrian improvements, sidewalks, perhaps some roundabouts in your neighborhood. So we're going to be able to do a lot of additional work to keep our system working efficiently.
And that's probably something you hear from residents a lot on, is pedestrian improvements and improvements to the roads where they drive every day.
Absolutely. I mean, I think having improvements to our infrastructure is something that impacts all of us. It impacts our businesses, it impacts our quality of life. And really, it's our people that are making that happen for everybody.
All right. And I know the reading is probably not for the faint of heart. I think the resolution was 40-something pages on the budget, but there's lots of great information online.
There is a lot of information, and the budget process is about a 5-month process, so it's not for the faint of heart. No. And you know, but it is really exciting to see the ways that Hennepin County is making sure that we're investing in our employees, which is a big part of what we're investing in. You know, that's the biggest driver of where these increases come from.
All right, well, we will be watching to see what happens in this next year. Commissioner Kevin Anderson, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, always a pleasure.
We are just over a week away from opening day of Maple Grove's new Ice Castles attraction. The company that runs Ice Castles announced that the attraction will open on Wednesday, January 24th. Crews made significant progress on construction since temperatures dipped below freezing. Meanwhile, staff from Experience Maple Grove is hopeful that visitors will also enjoy the city's other amenities.
We want people to come to Maple Grove to see the Ice Castle, but then stay and enjoy everything else that Maple Grove has to offer.
A Maple Grove restaurant recently expanded to add a form of entertainment that's growing in popularity. As I found out, it's the kind of activity that can bring you back to medieval times or help prepare you for the zombie apocalypse. It doesn't take much to get people out for pizza and drinks.
What we want to do is we want to teach people how to throw.
But these days,
yeah, it's my ex name is Wonder Woman, so
there's something else drawing folks to Maple Grove's Chanticleer Pizza.
Completely excited about this, and it's just fun throwing sharp things at the wall.
I find it really meditative, especially when I'm angry with my husband.
Those are the big axes. Then we have our standard axes here, which is more so your typical hatchet.
This is Dragon's Lair Axe and Tap, a new business venture under the same roof as Chanticleer Pizza that involves throwing sharp metal objects at a wooden target.
A lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm really enjoying myself. I wish I was better at it.
Think of this as Top Golf, but for axe throwing.
Yeah, this is a complete dream come true.
Austin Lukey is one of the owners of this new entertainment venue, which opened in December in a space that was formerly a storage area for Rainbow Foods.
So people can come in and get great food, great drinks, and now have a great entertainment option that the whole family can do, because anyone 13 and up can come in and do it.
Dragon's Lair has 15 different games and a wide variety of axes to throw at the various targets.
As soon as you stick that axe into the wood and hear that thunk, there's just something about it that's just, as soon as you get that, it's just so addicting.
For Austin and his business partner, David Lewis,
just going to bring it back and snap forward.
The goal is to help customers master the art of axe throwing.
You don't stand in front of it when you pull.
Because if people learn the proper technique, they'll want to keep coming back for more.
The higher you hold it, the faster she spins.
Oh, I see. It certainly helps that Austin and David happen to be among the top-ranked throwers in the world.
We all started picking up our axes off the floor. So every single one that is training understands that it's going to take finding the right throw and finding the right axe for the person.
This axe throwing venture marks new territory for Chanticleer Pizza, which also just started serving breakfast on weekends in the form of steak and eggs, chimichangas, and enchiladas.
We have a lot of authentic, great offerings that are big, shareable, and everything is fresh and homemade. And the hash browns are out of this world.
For many businesses, evolution is important.
Nice.
And if axe throwing continues to catch on, the owners have little doubt that what they've built here will continue to draw people for years to come.
Yeah, I want to have this become like the hub for an axe throwing community in Minnesota.
The official grand opening of Dragon's Lair Axe and Tap will take place on Saturday, January 20th.
We finally have a little snow on the ground for Nordic skiers to get some work in outside of the places that create snow. In this week's CCX Sports Spotlight from last January, we feature a now Wayzata High School senior skier and runner.
I love this sport.
Indeed, most winter days you'll probably find Daniel McCollor somewhere on skis.
I'm skiing all the time.
Whether it's practicing or competing, Wayzata High School junior has a passion for the sport.
I've always loved skiing, and I've done it since I was probably that tall. And it's just always been something exciting to me, and it's something I love.
He's had a tremendous season. He's been top U18 a couple weekends at Junior Nationals, top Lake Conference skier at a couple of our races as well.
McCollor finished 4th at the state high school meet last winter. His Wayzata team placed 3rd. It was a big highlight for the then high school sophomore.
Ecstatic. It was a big day, and it certainly hurt, but it was very, very fun for me, and very exciting to get the 2nd place time too for the skate race. And I was not expecting that at all.
The McCollor family is quite accomplished in this sport.
Bib number 1 from Wayzata.
Daniel's oldest sister Mara was a 2-time state high school champion and now skis at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. Lauren McCollor, a 2021 Wayzata grad and a state meet qualifier in her day, now competes for Northern Michigan. Having 2 older sisters around when Daniel first joined Wayzata's team in 7th grade was a big help.
I always had someone to push me, and especially coming into Nordic as a 7th grader, I was a little bit scared, I'll be frank. It's always a little terrifying the first time, like having them to push me and like showing me kind of a path.
Like many, but not all, high school Nordic skiers, Daniel's a runner too. He placed 16th at November State High School League meet and was part of a Trojans team that won both state and cross nationals too.
That was a big deal to us because last year we did it and we want to do it next year. And I think as a cross-country team, moving forward, we are going to be really good.
We love seeing the athletes that run cross-country in the fall, ski in the winter, run track in the spring, and I think it definitely adds to the resilience of the athletes, working those muscle groups, and also building up great endurance over the winter, fall, winter, and spring.
Daniel's also a member of the Minneapolis Ski Club, often practicing twice a week and racing for MSC on the weekends. It's a lot. The 16-year-old estimates he skis well over 1,000 miles a winter. And while he would love to win a state title for himself and his school and excel for his club team, personal goals aren't what matter to Daniel McCollor. Rather, it's all about the team.
You're not an individual in this sport. Like, you always have a team behind you, and I always think about them and like pushing through for them. In the end, we're a team. Nothing else matters.
McCollor ended last year's Nordic season with a third-place finish in the Lake Conference meet, his second straight Section 6 AA title, and a fifth-place finish at state for the team runner-up Trojans. This past fall, Daniel placed ninth at the state cross-country meet as the Trojans won the Class 3A team championship. This year's Lake Conference Nordic Championship meet is scheduled for February 1st at Highland Park Reserve, with a Section 6 meet the following week at Theodore Worth. That's all for sports. More CCX News after this. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.